Just like that, we're on. It's been a long time since like I've been late on a Tuesday because I remember back in the day when I first started this thing, Chili's two piece. I used to be late more often than not. I would shoot for seven, and the show would probably start at like 7:20, and Gridiron would want to kill me and all that. I am trying to book this special guest because we are getting close to the NFL draft, and I think it'd be cool to catch up with one of these guys. I've seen Ben Morrison doing his pro day over at Brophy, and there's a ton of talent from Arizona that's going to be in it. I mean, a ton. Look, weight is, uh, it depends on how you look at it, right? So there might not be 20 guys from Arizona in there or 20 guys that get drafted, but just having a handful of them, to me, that's a ton. Because it's always been a pleasure to watch these guys grow and chase their dreams and get that opportunity. So I just think that that's cool. Guys like Ben Morrison, guys like Denzel Burke, Lathan Ransom, both those guys got to finish their career on the high note, winning the Natty, and then guys like I think Dorian Singer is probably going to be in the draft, applied or whatever. Somebody told me that he might have retired or something like that, but I'm not sure. Lacarea Pleasant Johnson. I've seen his name popping up on all sorts of like draft reports and things like that. Um, Possibly a late round pick or whatever. He's been on his hustle, on his grind, trying to make sure that he can position himself. And I've been seeing some of his workouts like online and stuff like that. Uh, and all these guys. Like I got to watch Ben Morrison at Brophy do his thing. I got to watch Denzel Burke over at Saguaro, Lathan Ransom at South Point, Dorian Singer at Pinnacle. He came from Minnesota, but it's been cool. And then obviously LPJ Lacarea Pleasant Johnson. I got to watch him, start out his prep career over there at Mountain Point, and graduate class 2019. And cool thing with him is like he was part of the development of like the portal and stuff like that, and he dealt with like the pandemic, playing football during that time, and fully made use of his college opportunities and career. Um, hopefully I can get one of these guys on. We'll see what happens. Me and Gridiron are going to break down schedules as usual. Maybe dive in a little bit on some pro sports around the valley, some Sun Devil chatter, um, things like that. Shout out to I know U of A. I know NAU just had their spring game. I know NAU just had their spring game or whatever. It was snowing. It was snowing and crazy. Yeah, Ty Robinson. Ty Robinson, big fella from Higley. And he had like I think Ty Robinson had the fastest 40 time for big fellas. If I saw that correctly, if I'm not mistaken. So Papa Allen, I see Papa Allen over here hanging out. Proud parent of young Brady Allen, defensive lineman over there at Ironwood Ridge. So I got to give him a shout out, show him some love. But yeah, Ty Robinson went to Nebraska and did his thing. So yeah, I got to add his name to the list, and whoever else. But yeah, me and Gridiron, we're gonna break down the schedule. We're gonna talk about one of these draft hopefuls, see how that works out. And yeah, I look, man, just the opportunity to try out, to get a pro day, to get an opportunity to try out. I seen DeCarlos Brooks is another one. DeCarlos Brooks, running back from Chandler. I believe that he's obviously up for this. I'm not sure who's gonna try to get another tryout, extend their career. Um, I know Jake Smith, obviously finishing up over there at ASU and stuff. Spent time in Texas, USC, and then finish up here at ASU. Not sure if he's fully hanging up or going to try to get an opportunity somewhere. I just haven't seen anybody post like um, officially retired. Trenton Bourget, my guy Trenton Bourget. I'm going to assume that he's content with his situation. Maybe one of these days I can get him to jump on the show. I know that he's been throwing a little bit though, so I'm not sure what that's about. I have seen him warming up the arm pre-practice and stuff like that. And I do know I've heard that he's been keeping his arm loose, warming some guys up that throwing with some guys that are draft hopefuls also. So there is that. Hey, shout out to my guy Devin Horn, super talented videographer guy. If anybody's looking for one, make sure that you give him a shout. Make sure you guys pay. Look, hey, also, I always got to say this because I don't want anybody to think that these guys are doing free work out there and doing all this stuff pro bono. Make sure that you guys are paying and taking care of guys holding the cameras. That job is not easy, especially if they are doing all the work with the editing and all that stuff. There's K Visuals, my guy K Visuals, our guy, friend of the program, K Visuals. Me and Gridiron's official graphics guy usually takes care of us with all the graphics, except when Gridiron decides to take it on his own and write him up like he did for Red Mountain. I guess apparently he did the manual schedule for Red Mountain. I didn't know that he was doing that, so you can always pay Gridiron to do that stuff. But like Devin Horn, K Visuals, my guy AC, Ball Dogs AC. If anybody dumps on my camera guy, just let me know. I'm hooking you up. Country Archer Provisions, grass-fed beef jerky. I'm hooking you up with a pound. They sent me like 10 of these, so I got a whole bunch of these. Gridiron, I got you. I see you in the lobby wondering. I got you. So you have something to snack on. So once again, the sideline vlog. Your boy Chili takes care of you. Also, JJ Digos, my guy Digos Photos, JDigos Photos. Make sure that you take care of him. But yeah, there's that. Also, I really got to show some love to. I don't do this enough, guys. You guys got to keep me on point. AALL.net, my guy Papa Hiniosa, my partner in Flight Club, always taking care of Flight Club. Burrito Express, the best breakfast burritos in the state. Make sure that you guys hit them up if you guys can, get there timely. They close at 2:00, which I get it and I love it. However, that's crazy to me because, like, look, man, I mean, I'm not out of the house sometimes. Like when I'm in Arizona, I'm fully not out of that. I'm definitely not making it at the Burrito Express, like for the most part while I'm in California. But I don't make it out of the house sometimes till about like 12:30. So like, making it before 2:00 is like almost an impossibility. Plus, like I'm eating at the crib and stuff. I'm trying to save money. But Burrito Express got to show them some love. Recruit ID .net, I believe, is the website. Recruit ID. They make the cool bracelets. They have all your information, so that when you go to camps, you just have to touch the bracelet to your phone, and then all the info pops up for the coaches, so you don't have to go through the whole back and forth and things like that, and enter your stuff and this, that, the third. Got a great product. All supporters of Flight Club, I want to show them some love and make sure that I give them their juice. Also, I got a ton of I got not a ton, but like I got a handful of these kids tagging me in like their second sport or main primary sport. Shout out to my guy Gianni Boncor, super talented baseball player, super talented football player who has stepped away from the game, but I think he's gonna come back. He's over there at O'Connor, was an absolute stud his freshman year over at Cactus. Transferred for baseball reasons to O'Connor, I guess, and I think he's getting the itch to come back. He saw his big brother Nico getting that work, getting a championship ring, and I think he wants to come back to Friday Night Lights and have some fun and do his thing. So shout out to him, and I think we'll be seeing him if you pull up to an O'Connor game. Plus, like Coach Cullis is a hell of a on-campus recruiter, so there's that. Other than that, oh yeah, I saw Ashton Sanchez from ACP. Had to show him some love also online. Look, man, that's the easy way. Tag me. I see it. I try to show some love, retweet it, this, that, the third. Other than that, look, before we can get to this interview, if my special guest will show up, I'm gonna get to my guy Gridiron Arizona. I don't want to keep him waiting too long. Plus, I know he wants to like roast the Suns a little bit and talk about how like they gotta trim the fat and get rid of Bradley Beal and KD and keep Book, and even though Book's going to be going to New York at some point, I know that Gridiron wants to talk about that stuff. So I got to give Gridiron the time that he wants because Inside the Numbers is the highest rated segment of high school football, maybe on planet Earth. I don't know. But the boy Chili, hang out with your boy, and I am going to make sure that me and Gridiron provide you with some cool content, mostly schedule breaking down and focusing on one of these draft hopefuls. Your boy Chili, be right back. The one and only Gridiron Arizona, and with the famous Gecko.
Right.
I was talking to some people, some of the NAU folks, and they're like, man, they're like, you show Gridiron a lot of love, and it's so true. But they feel like the gecko logo doesn't get enough attention on the show. So I'm like, yo, dude, we always put it on the yellow
Yeah,
pad. If you
always
just
on
happen
the
to
other
miss,
pad, sure.
if you just happen to miss the yellow pad, then like that's unfortunate. But I think during the schedule times that we've been doing this, like we
Well,
haven't really
we're
broken out
using
the yellow pad.
their graphics on those. Yeah.
Yeah, because some of these guys put a lot of hard work
Mhm.
into
Some are pretty
putting their
sharp. Yeah.
graphics together. So we try to give back and give love. And um, look, we don't we don't do a lot of 4A talk during the season because you are a big school guy, like my guy Brett Quintine. You are a
Mm-hmm.
big school guy, so you focus mainly on big schools, 5A, 6A.
Yep.
4A also wants a manual scoreboard, but just not able to get it. Sometimes they make a cameo appearance because they played a
If
5A
you're
team.
if you're playing a 5A or a 6A team, you get on there, but otherwise no, because I tried to get the manual scoreboard up by 11:30, and then I tried to get the article written for the game I went to there, hopefully by 2. So we'll
Okay.
see.
All right. Hey, I do got a special guest coming up, and he's gonna come up right after this Inside the Numbers segment. So I just need him to hang out for a little bit. What we're gonna do is we're going to be breaking down this schedule. Let's jump right into this.
Yep.
I'm actually kind of excited to talk about this because they got a lot of good things going on over here. We're gonna talk about 418 Post and Butte.
They are.
This schedule looks
The
absolutely
blues are
bonkers.
hard to see.
Yeah, the Blues are a
Blue
little
one,
tough to
I'm
see, but
not sure about, but there
But
you go.
I'm gonna guide you through it. Broncos country, let's ride. Shout out to Russell Wilson. But
Yep.
first off, there is a correction over here. I just want to make sure that you know, Gridiron. Northwest Christian has
I
officially
used
been
that one.
changed to home.
Okay, so it's a home game against Northwest
Yeah,
Christian because
Northwest Christian's
they have
officially
6 home
changed to home.
games.
No, Paradise Honors has been changed to away. So I
Okay,
just wanted to get that
fair
out
enough.
of the way
Just the
before
road.
I
Okay.
forget.
All right, fair enough.
So this schedule looks absolutely bonkers. But let's ride through this. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Gridiron, this thing comes out tough right away. They
Yeah,
can't run at Micah Mountain. The
the
4A,
defending champs there of 4A.
the undefeated, right? Undefeated,
Yes, they were. They
undefeated,
were undefeated.
undefeated, defending champ, and that team was good. That
Mm-hmm.
team was good. They're going to look a little bit different, but that team was good. Um, at Micah
They didn't
Mountain,
lose that.
that's not a close trip. That's not a close trip. So they got to go on the road to Micah Mountain, game one.
Yep.
Game two, they get the friendly confines versus tough Northwest Christian team. Talented quarterback over there, Walwork. I like what he does over there.
Mm-hmm.
Also got some other guys. Johannes, I think, is an absolute stud. He'll be back. And Beckman. They got this offensive player, Beckman, that I think could be a guy. And then I know they got some names that everybody over at Northwest Christian is familiar with, like Heisman and some of those guys. So it should be kind of an interesting game. I'll let you go inside the numbers on this.
Yeah, Northwest Christian, of course, this will be their second straight tough game. The Crusaders return quarterback, is it Lakey?
I think it's Lakey. It's Lakey.
Lakey Walwork had 22 TD passes last season, 2,781 yards. So it's a difficult beginning there for Poston to try to get at least a split out of those first 2 games.
Man, this is tough. But I think having this game switched to home is going to be a huge benefit.
Yeah, it's a long ways from Glendale to Santan. That's a long road.
No, for sure. Well, look, I mean, they're going to have some long trips no matter how you dice this thing up because game three
Well,
on September.
they're going the opposite way on that one. Yes.
Yeah, and they're going to be headed to Paradise Honors. Now, fortunately for them, gone is that high scoring offense that was led by Gage Baker a couple years ago. But Paradise Honors is going to be tough. After that, they get a home game versus Marcos Deniza. That game should be tough also. Marcos Deniza has some athletes. Next game up, before they hit the midseason mark, they get this Peoria game. This game at Peoria,
Northwest Valley, second time.
With an absolute dynamo in Dante Tyson, Dom Kramer. They got a super talented running back over there. Coach Golden is fully loaded. This Peoria game, I think, is gonna be tough on the road. These first 5 games, I think, are going to be kind of brutal.
It's a difficult non-region slate.
These first 5 games are going to
and then
be kind of brutal.
the next five,
It
yeah,
doesn't get easier. It doesn't get easier,
the next five are their region.
and it doesn't get easier. They're home versus Snowflake, which is traditionally pretty tough. They're home versus Eastmark, Dane Silver and company. We know they're going to be tough. At Arcadia, which last year, I mean, the last 2 years they've been stellar during the regular
Oh yeah,
season.
new coach
I
now.
mean, new coach. Do we know who that coach is, by the way?
Did they announce it? At least let me check real quick. I don't remember.
I don't
know
think
if
that
it's
they announced it. That's why I'm
yes, yes.
curious.
I
They
did.
did.
I saw it last weekend. It's BJ Pasquale, who was an
Okay.
assistant with the Titans, formerly a coach at Coronado within the Scottsdale district.
Man, hey.
I had to check and see if it had been released.
Okay. Okay. Well, good on you. Good on you. I mean, I know everybody's trying to break the news, so like, I don't know.
No,
Some
we're not.
news I don't really want broken on the two piece, so I'm gonna stay away from some of that stuff. All right. Anyways, Arcadia's been rolling the last 2 regular seasons. I can only guess that they got some talent over there. I love the quarterback Smith. I think that he's gonna be solid. So this could really end up being a game. Combs up next. This is a game that we're going to go inside the numbers on a little bit. We're going to talk about the quarterback over there, Hale. I think that he's an absolute stud and big time potential. I like Moke over there, the receiver, and I think they got a running back, Miles, that can do some damage. This could be a competitive game late in the season. Gridiron, why don't you take us inside the numbers on this one?
Yeah, at Combs, week 9. It's a rivalry game. Their schools are only about 9 miles apart. And which is very close for Poston Butte because there isn't a lot else out there where Poston is, but you'd have to drive by Combs to get to Poston Butte if you're going out there. Combs finished number 16 in the rankings last year and made the playoffs, finishing 0.3 ahead of Poston Butte, who was the number 17 seed. So not only did Poston Butte miss the playoffs, they had to see their longtime rivals, who they did not play last season, make it ahead of them. So this is a chance to kind of see if they can get into the playoff hunt there. Of course, going to be a 24 team field this year. I think there's 53 teams in the 4A. 59 teams. Check that. There are 59 teams in the 4A, so it's a good thing 24 are going to be making it into postseason. Combs returns the quarterback, Cannon Hale. So another good quarterback that they're going to face this season. And then 2 receivers. They got Branson Moak and Skylar Lawrence, both back with them. Both had pretty productive junior seasons.
Okay. I'm this schedule's tough. I'm not gonna hide that this schedule's tough. They finish off the year Halloween versus Mesquite at home, friendly confines. I think that this schedule is gonna be super competitive. I'm looking at these 10 games and I'm just like, dang, dude, like where are the breaks at? But look, Poston Butte, Coach Holmes bringing in a new OC. That's probably going to try to open up this pass game a little bit. Coach Horn, the former Perry running back coach, got a new DC, I believe, over there, Eric Young. I think that this coaching staff is really trying to revamp some things and turn some things over.
The mantra of being a team that runs the ball,
for sure.
And that Coach Thompson's been there.
For sure, and I think that they're trying to shake that offense up a little bit and open it up. I think right now, and I'm not sure. I think their quarterback Grady Gardner probably has. I think he's ahead in the race. Super talented kid, 2026 guy, ready to be a leader. Robert Howard, a 27 kid, super fast, probably the fastest kid in the program. Tight end Hunter Decker, I think he's about 6'4"ish, so he should be able to help out with some of that. Opening up the pass game. They got a pair of offensive linemen, defensive linemen. One of them, Chris Gonzalez, I think is going to be their leader in the trenches. The other guy, Jacob Pfeiffer, I think is going to be their surprise guy in the trenches. That's really going to open some eyes. Linebacker athlete Raymond Diaz, a 2028 kid that might be able to do some sparky formation, if you will. Maybe take some snaps at quarterback or something like that. And then I think the leader of this team is athlete running back linebacker Folletti.
Yeah.
I think it's he's in Folletti. So I think that he's a two-way player. And they're going to need him to shine. They're going to need him to be a star for this team to try to keep things together in the regular season because this schedule absolutely brutal. Gridiron, I'm gonna let you go inside the numbers. Let you do your gridiron thing. Take it away.
The Poston Butte Broncos 5-5 last season. As I mentioned, they finished number 17 in the final 4A rankings. They did make the playoffs 4 of the last 5 years. Their record over the last 8 years, if you go back, is 49-35. So 14 games over 500. Those all under head coach Dane Thompson, who's entering his 9th season. This team is now in the 4A Desert Sky region, so it's a new region for the team in 25. Those last 5 opponents that we mentioned on the schedule is who they're in their region with. Snowflake, Eastmark, Arcadia, Combs, and Mesquite. The quarterback was a senior last year, Lloyd, but the Broncos only threw 99 passes all season, so I don't know that it makes that much of a difference that it's not the returner at quarterback. They had 99 passes. They had 442 runs. That's an 82% run rate. And 3 of the top 4 rushers will graduate. The one that's not is Easton Folletti, who had 538 yards, 9 touchdowns, averaged over 6 yards a carry. And he also plays linebacker, had 72 tackles, 11 tackles for a loss. He'll be a senior. The wide receivers, they, as we mentioned, they only threw 99 times. The returning players who were on varsity totaled 3 catches for 11 yards. So a lot of mystery there if they do decide to do something with the passing game. Defensively, it was also a very senior-led team last year because 8 of the 9 top tacklers were seniors. The returning players only combined for 3 sacks and 1 interception at the varsity level. Some young players to watch. You got linebacker Robert Howard, who'll be a junior, had 8 tackles and an interception against Copper Canyon. You got Robert Aroda. He'll be a junior, defensive end, 6 tackles and a sack against Apache Junction. You have linebacker Benjamin Lloyd, who's also a 27. He's running 110 and 300 hurdles in track. Looking at the team, their JV team did go 6-2 this year with some impressive wins. Campo Verde, ACP, Thunderbird, Snowflake, and CDO. So if those guys can play together and had success at the JV level, they could transition into helping out since they don't have that varsity experience.
Man, hey, this is a tough schedule to break down because, like, I got to be honest, man. I'm not super familiar with a lot of the play in the 4A. I know some of the ballers, I know some of the players and things like that. Some of the guys that can go. Last year, I only saw Micah Mountain in the championship game. I saw Peoria off season, Marcos Deniza off season, Eastmark.
They did beat Eastmark last season, and they beat Marcos. And they beat Marcos last season.
And they only lost to Micah Mountain last season by like 10 or something like that,
yes,
right?
That
was a close game.
They're opening against him once again, which is interesting because obviously the new schedules this year. But that Micah Mountain the schedule are Copper Canyon and Apache Junction and Gila Ridge.
Hold on, Gridiron. That Micah Mountain score could be kind of deceptive just because how run heavy this team was and the clock getting chopped in half and things like that, like keeping the ball away from Micah Mountain. True? False? Last year's score?
You mean that they should have lost by more if they didn't?
No, I'm just saying because the way their offense is volume, 100%.
It was 14-0 after 3 quarters. So I mean,
100%. But I'm just saying because of the nature of their offense, score could be a little misleading.
I mean, Poston Butte's going to run the ball no matter what the score is. They're not a team that if they fall behind 14-0, they're all of a sudden going to try passing the ball.
Right, because that's not in their repertoire.
In this game, they had 11 pass attempts and 45 runs for a game,
which is consistent with what they do.
14-0 at halftime. So I mean, they're gonna run what they run.
Right, that's my point. That's my point. Is because they're just going to continue with their offense and not try to like throw themselves into the game. Mm-hmm. Like they're just going to ball control, keep the clock moving.
Well, and they were a little bit successful in doing that. Because I mean you can run the ball, but if the other team knows it's coming and they get you 3 and out, now you're back on defense. And they did hold Micah Mountain to 17 points and picked off a couple passes. And Micah only rushed for 65 in that game. I mean, I don't have Micah Mountain's full season stats in front of me, but I'm sure that the 138 yards that team had in total offense was probably their low for the season by a lot.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Hey, listen, either way, like, I just, this is a tough schedule for me to project, but I do see our guy Coach Sanders trying to jump in here. He says Broncos going 6-4, making the postseason.
The good news
you know
is
what?
Because the schedule is so good, 6-4 should get him into that 2014 field. Absolutely.
I agree, and I'm also going to take Post and Butte to go 6-4. I think that this is a team that could potentially they can get things right with the coaching staff, because especially at the top, I think that offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach, I think that they got so much good experience, and I think they got some background together ish. So like I'm highly curious to see how Coach Foreign opens up this offense, and if he can get it clicking right, I don't see why they can't steal a couple games here. And also some of these teams that were up last year,
right, might not be. You'd expect some teams to take a step back, maybe in Arcadia, with some turnover there in
possibly
areas. I don't think we expect Micah to run the table again. So yeah, but on the same token, there's some teams that'll probably be improved next year. I think Peoria will probably be a better team this year than they were last season. So you're going 6-4.
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody that goes undefeated is due to lose at some point. Nobody goes undefeated forever. So, no better time to try to get that dub than game one, right?
I look at it, and if things don't go well, it could turn into a 2-win season. But I'm certainly not going to predict that. I'm going to go 5-5. And say that I mean, it's a rough start. I'll be surprised if they're 3-2 going into the replay, because we looked at that first 5 games. So I'm going to go straight up at 5-5, and I think the Combs game is going to decide if they have a winning season or not. So I think it could come down to that week 9 game.
Man, you said you'll be surprised with the 3-2. That means that you think they're okay. All right, my guy Gridiron, fueling them up once again. What? Speaking of fueling up. Oh man, that's a heck of a projection. But speaking of fueling up, one thing I do want to point out is Coach Sanders has Arcadia going 4-6, just kicking dirt on Arcadia. Wow. We did not break down their schedule.
The whole Arcadia schedule, so I don't know. I don't
know what their schedule looks like, but 4-6 is tough. Hey, I do got a special guest.
I do have one of Poston's 5 wins being Arcadia. I will say that.
Oh man, hurting. Hey, I do got a special guest coming up, and we are going to do a special Inside the Number spotlight segment, if you will, with hopefully if he gets his internet working and I can see him. But real quick, let's run through some of this real quick, because we got a draft hopeful from the state of Arizona, and his name is Lacarea Pleasant Johnson. Inside the Numbers on Lacarea Pleasant Johnson, super talented defensive back draft prospect from Mountain Point, class of 2019. You know the deal. Played at Utah, UNLV, and was absolutely killing them at Southern Utah. Hey, career stats listed below, but Gridiron, that is your job. Inside the Numbers, talk to me about Lacarea Pleasant Johnson. I don't know if you ever got to see him work.
Oh, sure I did. Yeah. He played in the 6A. I'm that big school guy.
Yeah, true.
Those teams. We got Lacarea Pleasant Johnson, LPJ, 6'1", 190, has 79-inch wingspan, cornerback, has been timed at 4.42 in the 40. Played at Mountain Point all 4 years, 2015 to 2018. Went on to Utah, UNLV, and then Southern Utah. Was rated a 3-star by Rivals out of high school. Was awarded in his senior year the 2018 Arizona Varsity 6A Cornerback of the Year. I went back and checked that, and we did name him the Cornerback of the Year that year. His senior year, 51 tackles, 4 interceptions, 15 pass breakups. His sophomore year, he played wide receiver, 436 yards and 4 TDs, also ran track.
You
Still,
like that?
his relay team still ranks number 2 in Mountain Point history for the 4x200 relay. And that was a team with Marshawn Gibson, Kenny Churchwell, and Jakeem McKinney. They ran a 130-28 that season. In college, he played 6 games with Utah in 21, 4 games with UNLV in 22, and then played 20 games with Southern Utah in 23 and 24. Had 3 interceptions last season, 1 for a touchdown against UC Davis. Do you know who his uncle is?
God, I feel like it's got to be like one. Yes, I do because I heard it. I heard it in an interview. I want to say it's like Tony Dungy or
Yep,
something
it's
like that.
exactly Tony Dungy. He's a nephew of
Boom, boom.
Dungy. He has a lengthy NFL frame, high football IQ, excellent ball
Yeah, he
skills,
does.
has size, speed, versatility, could develop into an NFL contributor, has the athletic pedigree. Off the field, he's resilient. He has leadership, commitment to giving back, kind of a sleeper in this NFL draft class. Started playing football at age 7. Last season,
But he liked it like that.
his senior year, allowed 0 100-yard games. He started every game for Southern Utah, thrives in both press man and zone coverages. A late day 3 potential, so we could see him pop up Saturday, or as an undrafted free agent. You see a lot of guys sign in those 3 hours after the draft ends. He can be a physical corner. He's capable of matching up with larger receivers, and he has the attributes to outperform his draft position. Could be a day 3 draft steal. So there you go.
Oh, for sure. If he goes day 3, that's an absolute steal. Somebody
He's
just
not. I don't
put
think
the
he's going to go
mask on and did something bad at the bank. I'm telling you right now. Hey, listen, Lacarea Island was absolutely nasty in high school. I don't care what anybody says. 25 pass deflections means like quarterbacks, watch out. If you wait, it's tip drill like Nelly. Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. Hey, I think that he's going to be an absolute monster. I think that he's going to get an opportunity with somebody. I don't know when he's going to get drafted. I don't know where he's going to go or how this is going to work out for him. But the kid is absolutely special.
I feel pretty good that he'll be in a camp with a team,
Man,
one way or another. So
my man, freaking my
be
man can
tuning
put a
in
badge
Saturday.
on the way, put
Find
the
out.
locks on these receivers. I'm just saying. Hey, and he played at a time where quarterbacking was at its height in Arizona. Let's not forget the Gunnar Cruzes, the Spencer Rattlers, the Jacob Conovers, and he had to deal with all them cats. He had to let everybody know, like, hey, this is my island, this is my spot. Don't throw to this receiver because I'm coming to get that ball. So, and Mountain Point on offense, you know the deal. I can't wait. Hey, I'm gonna chop it up with him. Hey, do you remember what game you went to watch him work in? Off the top, do you remember?
I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me see if I can pull up their schedule real quick and see if it rings a bell from those years. I wasn't ready for that question. Let's see here. 2018 senior year, that was with Coach Wellbrock there at Mountain Point.
I remember that team well. Jakeem McKinney was absolutely nasty.
That was Wellbrock's first year there with. I remember him being there. I remember being at the his sophomore year was the year that under Norris Vaughn they went undefeated all the way to the championship game and played Chandler that season.
Well, I know that we were all at that game for sure then. So.
Yeah, we were certainly all at that one. Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you right now though, this is gonna be steal of the draft. Your boy Chili said it first. Chili exclusive. Lacarea Pleasant Johnson will be a steal of the draft.
That's right.
I don't care what nobody says. Hey, I'm just excited, man. One, I'm hoping that he gets picked, and 2, that way I can tell everybody, like, look, I had a kid that got drafted literally on the show right before the draft, which is going on this weekend. Hey, Gridiron, if you were to make a projection, what do you think happens with our guy Lacarea? Like, where do you kind of think like maybe the luck will have him going?
You mean where I think he'd be drafted?
Yeah, like what team or whatever. Like what kind of lucky inside the numbers projection are you willing to make?
This is kind of a blind guess here.
For sure, absolutely. It's always a blind guess.
Sure. Let's send him to the 49ers in the seventh round. Well, we'll see how
Man,
that goes.
every Arizona kid can't go to the
They're taking some
49ers.
Arizona guys.
Cody Cameron's super happy. He's super high. Uh, Hey, you know what? I don't know. For some reason, I just have this feeling like I could see like the Arizona Cardinals like rolling the dice and bringing
They
an
like to
Arizona
take those
kid
home
back home.
guys.
They absolutely do, and I think that this one will be absolutely special. Hey, Gridiron, you know what? I'm gonna catch up with Lacarea right now. I do see him hanging out, so I'm gonna catch up with him right now, and then I'm gonna bring you back to revisit all this. Okay?
I was at the playoff game against Perry his junior year.
Was that a Brock Purdy year?
It was a Brock. Well, was it Brock or a Chuba Purdy year? It was. It
I
was.
think it was a Brock Purdy year.
They ended up getting carved up for
I think it
56.
was a Brock Dirty year. So okay.
Don't bring up that game.
You already spoiled it. All right, hey Gridiron, I'm gonna bring you back after I chop it up with him
All
for a
right.
second, and then we're gonna revisit the whole thing, and I'll let you better prepare for some of the questions. Cool.
All right.
All right, my man. Coming right back, I got my guy Lacarea Island, Lacarea Pleasant Johnson, straight out of Mountain Point, and recently Southern Utah, getting ready for the NFL draft. Let's find out what's going on. And boom, just like that, Mr. Handcuffs himself, read him. They right receivers. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 or that signing bonus. Lacarea Pleasant Johnson, straight out of Mountain Point, most recently Southern Utah. Draft hopeful. What's going on?
Chili, what's going on, man? Long time no see, man. I appreciate you, allowing me to on this wonderful podcast of yours, man. I'm ready to light it up. But how you
No,
doing, man? I'm doing well.
I'm good, man. You know, it's just cool catching up with you. Long time no see, but I see a lot of the stuff that you're doing, obviously on social media. I see you stepping out there, talking to Jalen Strong's crew at AZ Compass Prep. I see you giving back to the community, talking to some of these high schools. And it's not just you; it's like the Cam Scataboos. Like, so it doesn't matter. Like Heisman hopeful, straight out of Southern Utah, always trying to give back. You know, where does some of that stuff come from that makes you want to say, hey, look, I'm not just going to do it at Mountain Point. I'm gonna do it over here and I'm gonna do it over there too.
I mean, first of all, I just want to thank God for this platform, and it all just comes from Him, and Him allowing me to touch others spiritually, and with the mind that my grandma has. She's spirit. She's very spiritual. She believes in God, and I haven't missed a Sunday, man, growing up, and that plays a big part. And so sometimes I'm just moved by the Holy Spirit to accept to go talk to these different kids. And I knew at one point when I was a kid, man, it felt the world to me to to talk. I seen Jalen Strong. He came to my school and spoke, and I thought the world of it. So that's kind of how that plays out.
Hey, look, your journey. You came at a time when you got into college at a time where the NIL game started changing things, where the transfer portal started developing. Everybody that was supposed to be quote unquote so loyal to the logos and things like that. You came at a time where you really got to be loyal to yourself first. How hard was it for you in that transition where you bounced from like a Utah to a UNLV to Southern Utah to make sure that you find your own opportunity so you can get this next opportunity with the NFL draft?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a journey. Yeah, it was an experience. It had a lot to do with, finding out who I really was as a person, man. Did I really love the game? Did I really, want to make this my life? And at Utah, man, I loved it. Obviously high recruit out of high school, and Coach Sharif Shaw, man, he did his thing. Recruit me, and I loved it up at Utah. I had a great 3 years there. What a lot of people don't know, man, is Chili, man. When I went to Utah my first year, man, I got labrum surgery on my right shoulder. No, nobody knows. I didn't even,
Right.
I didn't tell anybody growing up. I mean, not even growing up, but coming out at all. It was just kind of like poof, you know what I'm saying? So I did have a labrum surgery, so I redshirted my first year there, Obviously, COVID hit my second year, and then my third year is when I, played primarily special teams. Man, balled out, solo tackles. Just playing in front of 60,000, experience, whatever you wanted to call it. And then after that, I had another surgery to my left shoulder after the Rose Bowl when we unfortunately lost to Ohio State by 3 points, and then
Okay.
I just entered the portal after that. So
Look, your story is kind of one of just be patient, ride the wave. Success is going to come, opportunity is going to come. How do you communicate that to these kids these days who are so worried about like, oh, I need my 4 stars, I need this opportunity, I need 10 offers, I need to be invited to this camp. How do you communicate and translate your story to them so that they understand that, like, look, if you just ride the wave and do the things that you're supposed to do, success and opportunity is going to come your way.
like just like you said, no matter what, if you ride the wave and you do what you're supposed to do, success gonna come your way no matter what, because you're not gonna have any type of cliffhang. You're not gonna be going here nor there, getting distracted. My best advice to kids is, man, keep God first in this journey that you're in, especially nowadays, the NIL. Um, and then if I would tell myself, man, to just try to outwork everyone. I remember my senior year coming into college. They brought a corner in from a rival school, and it was whatever. I like to compete, and something I did, man, I lined up right next to him. You know what I'm saying? And every sprint drill, where if I was tired or not, he won some. I won most, but I lined up next to him. I continued to do it, just showing people how competitive I am. Because playing at the highest level is all about having fun and competing. So something I tell these kids that are worried about these 4 and 5 stars is, shoot, man, it's not going to even work. It's not even going to matter if you don't have these grades. If you have good grades.
No, for sure. Hey, navigating the NIL situation in college, like, because I don't think that all these kids fully understand like how that really works. How are you able to be successful with it
Yeah, man.
or
So
without it? Either one.
yeah, no, it struck me on my way out, and I was able to capitalize it at UNLV, man. Obviously with some merch. I capitalized, wristbands. I capitalized even on clothing. I had my own dry sweatless clothing from top to bottom. And I was able to survive off that and obviously eat. But I capitalized on just making sure that I was professional, and DMing, Instagram people, people that can obviously, enlarge my territory and help me, get my outreach outside and out there. But I mean, I capitalized very well on it, and I'm glad that it helped me out, because at the time, it wasn't getting what was it like, a couple thousand. Now kids is getting hundreds
Right.
of thousands. So yeah,
For
it
sure.
helped
Yeah,
definitely.
because before originally when you stepped into it, it was really just your college stipend. It was whatever the scholarship was. It was maybe like 1,800 bucks or something like that, maybe 2 grand. Uh,
Yep.
now it's now it's like you can get like 2 grand a week if you manipulate the thing right, like during football season and really take advantage. I'm curious, like some of the guys that you got to play against. Me and Gridiron, we were talking about it. The Spencer Rattlers, the Jacob Conovers. You had to play a position that there was no mercy for
Mhm.
in high school because we were the quarterback state at the time. What was it like for you coming out and having to deal with like all those guys, the Gunner Cruises and the Rattlers and all them? Like, and you're a cornerback out of Arizona.
Yeah, it was very fun. First off, hats off to Conrad Hamilton, Coach Hamilton. That was my DB coach up at Mountain Point my senior
One
year.
of the
Man, he
best.
kind of he kind of changed my trajectory of where I'm at today. He said, "Hey, if you want to make some money going to go to the league, you can play corner." And I'm like, "Huh?" And it obviously worked out. But speaking on all the guys, man. I mean, I was a part of the football hotbed, with Spencer Rattler, the first annual camp out here for football hotbed. So competing with him was always cool. The Gunner Cruises, 7-on-7 is always cool. But what I'm about to say here, to compete against those guys and make plays against those guys was always cool, man, because obviously you stamp your last name, and then obviously, when somebody talks about these guys and these quarterbacks, they obviously got to talk about me, because I mean, during my time at Mount Point and in Arizona. I was a 6A Defensive Player of the Year. Um, I was one of the fewest to be offered from Florida in the state. Um, and shoot, man, list goes on. Surely you already know. So
Hey,
you know,
hey, Lacarea, it was Lacarea Island. It was seat belts, it was straps, it was handcuffs, and all that. 25 pass deflections, 5 interceptions, man. Um, which one stands out to you the most? Which one do you remember? Like, oh man, I had that dude so locked up. Everybody was talking crazy about him, and he was gonna get me. Which matchup? Like, not talking bad about nobody, but which matchup do you just remember that just is so vivid in your brain, where you're like, oh man, I own Buddy. I'm on his Wikipedia page as his owner. Like,
yeah.
which one? Which matchup?
Man, Chili, the way you put it, I'm not even. I don't want to. I'm not throwing any shade, but I remember,
No, it's a real.
yeah, no, I remember playing against Hamilton. You know what I'm saying? And they had Brendan up there, and I remember, obviously picking the Hamilton off and actually doing my thing against Brandon Rice. He had a good game, but I had a better game. But that's high school we're talking about. But it
No,
was
for
fun,
sure.
man. To even like at the time I didn't really know who the kid was. I was kind of There was kind of that's Jay Rice's son. So that week, preparation was very high, and I was able to come out. We were able to come out with the win, and I did have a great game against them. So it was fun, man. But definitely beat Rice. It was fun to. And Ricky Parcell too. Those guys.
Oh,
I can name a
Ricky
few.
P. Hey,
Ricky
hey,
P was a guy.
hey, folks, listen. Something that like I never really touched on, never got too in depth in. A lot of people showed Ricky a lot of love for staying at Corona del Sol and not transferring or anything like that. Is there anything that you can speak on that? Because like I remember going to the Desert Vista game, and the Desert Vista kids were literally like Ricky Pearsall and like clapping him up like when he was back there on kick returns and punts. And I remember Basha doing something similar. And if I remember correctly, I think Mountain Point did something similar too. Like the respect that y'all have for each other when y'all stick it out through a tough situation. Can you talk about that at all?
Yeah, man. I mean, that was really fun. I remember going to Corona del Sol my junior year, and I played a receiver. I had a great game and
Yeah,
defensively and
you did.
offensively. But I remember like Ricky wasn't who he became to be his senior year, his junior year. So it was a big jump, and I think people respected, you know, more of the senior year Ricky Pearsall, because I mean he was like a different person, um, as far as athletically, physically. But hats off to like the student sections in Arizona high schools, just making it always fun because that's what we lived for on Friday nights, Chili. I mean, it was fun, and just to know that we were guys going to the next level, it was just fun to compete against those guys, and so I'm just grateful for that time being.
Hey, I talked about the quarterbacks, the Rattlers, and some of those guys that have made it on. You talked about Ricky Pearsall. We brought up Brendan Rice, like all these guys like in the league and stuff. Um, Knowing that, seeing that with the conversation, like uh, how does that make you feel internally? Like, dang, dude, I really am ready for that next level. All these guys I played against since high school, like, where does that put your mindset, like, in preparing for the draft and stuff?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. It makes me feel really good. It hasn't really hit me yet. Shout out to my coach. I talked to my coach Chima, my college DB coach. Man, he always tells me, "Don't let it hit you, man. Just keep going." So it hasn't really hit me yet, but now that you said that, you know, to put myself amongst those cats. Some of them are in the league now and having success in college. It really feels good, man. And I came across something about like top Arizona recruits, and it feels good to be up there with those guys.
Hey,
So like, yeah, man.
hey man, listen, all the kids and even yourself, everybody, like they want the respect that they deserve. They want the clout, they want the online recognition, they want the public recognition. For you to be able to watch the podcast, to listen to me and Gridiron talk about something like this, and to see a graphic that has so much of your accolades on here, like so many years later, past high school, like what does it mean to you? Like, do you feel like make it or not to the NFL, like I really made it, like I left a lasting impact? Like where does this take you?
I mean, I got a lot of confidence, in myself that I'm make it to the NFL and do my best, and just continue to compete so I can keep my job for a very long time. But as I looked at the stats, man, it all comes for full circle, you know. I mean, I'm grateful. I could cry right now. Not really, but it just feels good for me to know all my hard work really paid off, and it's going to continue to pay off. Just because I worked, man. I mean, I remember my junior year going in my senior year. I worked my butt off. I worked my butt off. I worked it off. And my senior year I had a great year. My junior year, adversity hit, and I continued to fight. I continued to fight, and I'm in the position I am now. So yeah, man, it feels good.
I I don't want to make this too emotional, but I do got to say this. I do remember when you were committing and how much it meant to you uh, for your mom and stuff. Like, can you open up a little bit about it? Like, I remember like how emotional that part was. Like, is there anything that you can leave us with before I let you go?
Yeah, man. Once again, man, I just want to really thank God for just continue to have His grace over me and my family. You know, um, Speaking of that, man, I'm actually in front of the house where when I got the news, man, I was in front of one of my family members' house, and I remember it like yesterday, and I'm actually in front of it now, and it's a weird feeling, you know what I'm saying, but it was crazy, man. Like her passing really like it changed my life for the better. I became a better man. I'm about to get my master's this weekend, and everything I did was for her, man. Like everything, literally, man. I work out till my heart dang near bursts, man, just cause her. And I rock number 31 because of her. And whoever loses their parent out there, man, just continue to use that as fuel. It's not gonna be a pity party for anyone, because nobody felt sorry for me. I experienced it. I heard it. I heard people say, this and that, and it's real. Some people don't really want to see you win, and they can care less. So whoever's hearing this, you know what I'm saying, y'all just keep going. If you lost a parent, and I look to, when I make the league and I'm sign my second contract or even my first, I look to launch a nonprofit for kids who lost their mom to cancer, through the Jaquel Pleasant Foundation, like I lost my mom. So God is good to me and my family, man, and it's gonna be a lot of things in the works. And yeah, bro, shout out to you, Chili, man. I remember seeing you at the ASU game, my what was that? My junior year,
I
no,
think it was
senior
your
year
junior year. No, I think it was
at,
your
at
junior
Southern
year.
at Southern Utah.
No, it was here. It was definitely here. So that was it was it was your
It
it was
was
your was that your senior year?
it was my last year at Southern U. No, because no, it wasn't. No,
No,
it
it was your
wasn't. No, it
junior
wasn't.
year.
It was my junior year at Southern Utah. Because I remember
Yeah,
my last year at
I'm not
Southern
tripping.
Utah, we played
I
at
never
Utah.
forget. I never forget. Hold on. I never forget. I never forget when I see you guys. I never ever forget. I always remember. Don't forget that. Lacarea, do not forget that. I will always remember when I saw you work.
Absolutely, bro. There's love, man. I
But
appreciate that love.
hey, speaking of love, when you get a home with a team, you better come back to the show, hang out, and chop it up with your boy.
Chili, bro. I will, man. I appreciate just the invite on the show. Enlarging my territory. I really appreciate it, man. Like for real, for real. So I appreciate that. I
Hey,
will. I will.
and no doubt, no doubt. Last time I chopped it up with you, you were doing an interview with Brett Quintine, and here we are now. I think it's like almost like 2 years later, and
Yep.
don't lose touch. Keep me posted. We're gonna be watching, and we're all cheering for you. Know that you got a community behind you. All right.
Right on, Chili. Thank you, brother.
All right, Lacari. Hey, keep working out, do your thing, and then I'm gonna holler at you soon. All right.
All right, deuces, man. Appreciate you.
All right. You know the deal. As promised, I'm gonna bring my guy Gridiron back, and we're gonna remix this thing. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna ask Gridiron.
I gotta change my my team there that I want to see.
Oh, you don't want Cody Cameron to smile.
No,
I got you.
we got a better story here. there's a team out there that has 4 6th-round picks and a 7th-round pick, and they have Brendan Rice on the roster. So we got to go with a Chargers and have them match up in practice. So I'm rooting for that. They got 5 shots at him here in the.
That's why I got the blue on right now. Hey, if Lacarea comes to my town and well, I guess not really my town anymore because the Chargers in LA, but that's also my town because I got a place in LA also. But if Lacarea goes to the Chargers, hey, trust me, I'm going to teach him how to spend that money for sure. I'm going to introduce him to the jewelers, the food spots, all that good stuff. But man, that would be super exciting. And then I'm going to clip this up and send Brendan Rice the film so that way he can get his get back. All right, so you got him going to the Chargers now. Put me down for the Chargers also. I want to see that now. I definitely want to see it. Not because of the Brendan Rice thing, but because I think that would be cool. Look, man, super unique opportunity, and he's not the only one from Arizona. I talked about this at the beginning of the show, and we're going to recap some of these guys next week. Ben Morrison, he just did his pro day at Brophy. Denzel Burke, Lathan Ransom winning the Natty for Ohio State. Dorian Singer, well-traveled also.
Tyler Shuck,
Utah USC. Tyler Shuck over at Louisville, also well-traveled. Texas Tech and Oregon, and
probably older than some guys in the NFL right now.
Oh man, why are you doing him like that?
He is,
you
right?
really just killed him. Dang. That was inside the numbers that they don't want, though.
Good.
Hey, if he gets to the league, it is what it is. So I mean, they're all the same age then. But yeah, Ty Robinson, it'll be super cool to see him get an opportunity. It'll be super cool watching all these guys. And now I'm all in on LPJ going to LA. So, hey, you can't spell, LA without the Lacarea. So, there's that.
The L
all right. Yeah, make that thing work. We're gonna make that thing work somehow. All right, Gridiron. Great show. Broke down Post and Butte. You got them hovering at 500. I got people texting me right now, saying why Gridiron is so salty.
We go.
I got them at 6-4, a little bit, I guess, more generous because I think that if Coach Horn gets this offense rolling, I think that they can possibly
transform to a completely different entity overnight like that. Because I know that their younger or their lower level teams used to run the same offense that the varsity ran. So.
Oh, Suns consistently went to crap after the championship year.
I have made one trip to Post and Butte, and it was to see a lower level game several years ago. So, that's what they
Combs.
Same offense. So,
well, we're gonna see what it is. All right, hey, Gridiron, real quick before I let you go. What are we expecting with the Suns coaching situation? I'm gonna let you touch on that. I keep hearing the rumors of does Nash want to come back? Would Jared Dudley take the job?
I think it would be well received by the fan base.
Don't forget, I brought that up to you first.
I know you did. There's the day after it happened. Yeah.
Don't forget. What about Jared Dudley? Are you a fan of that idea?
I'm a fan of the Jared Dudley idea. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're a fan of any ex-Sun coming back to help activate the Valley?
You kind of keep it in the family a little bit, right?
Activate the Valley Boys.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. I'm curious to see how this whole thing works out. I'm really not sure, to be honest. I don't know if I like Steve Nash more than Jared Dudley or not. I am starting to jump on that Jared Dudley bandwagon that people have brought up, but I know Jared Dudley's super well respected.
Guy getting his first shot at it, kind of thing, and having that energy, which is something that the team lacked a lot of last season.
Why?
And plus, you might have a younger team, so.
I mean, and Dudley firsthand can be the one that comes out and says, you know what, the team should have drafted Luka. Since he has so much hands-on experience.
Well, it's not these guys.
I know, but it would be a great way to just poo-poo on the Robert Sarva era of Phoenix basketball and just come out in the press conference and say,
Luka, hey, by the way, Luka going off tonight. Lakers currently up 22 on Minnesota. Luka has 22. We are still in the second quarter. So he is taking it on himself tonight to get the Lakers even in this series.
That's because Ant-Man was talking crazy to him in that first game. So talking super reckless. All right, hey Gridiron. Next week,
Next week
we do got another special show lined up.
Guys that got drafted, so I'll have to be taking some notes on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Figure out who gets drafted.
Depending on how many Arizona drafted kids there are, maybe we will break down one schedule.
Okay, yeah. I want to say I saw a thing this week from Max Preps. It was having how many people had gotten drafted from each state in the last 5 years, and I think we had 17. So we're good. We're good for 3 or 4 a year. So
yeah. Do you think the 3 or 4 are going to be the one are going to be ones that we mentioned?
And I know we had one not too long ago that we didn't have anybody, but
a lot of haters in the NFL anyway, so it is what it is. All right, hey, Gridiron, Inside the Numbers next week. We are going to break down Arizona kids that get drafted, possibly break down one schedule, possibly have a special guest, definitely doing an Inside the Numbers spotlight. So there's that. I can't wait. It's going to be a fully loaded show, and I couldn't do without my guy Gridiron. So, hey, Gridiron, I'm going to let you go, though. Thank you for stepping back onto the scene, so that way we'll get remixed the question of where we think LPJ is going to go. Cool? All right. My man.
Bye.
Forks up, you know the deal. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me no matter where I'm at. California, temporarily-ish, permanently-ish, you never know. Europe, Taiwan, Peru, wherever the show goes, you guys always seem to hang out with me. Flight Club is coming. It is filling up, and I can't wait. Belt should be in soon. I do want to show love to my guys, ALL.net, the insurance guys, making sure that Flight Club goes down. Papa Henios has been absolutely incredible as a partner in Flight Club, the title sponsor. I want to show some love to Papa Mesa. The community's been great to me. Papa Mesa over there at recruitid.net. I think it's .net, but he's a bracelet guy. Do the boop boop, and all the info pops up on the coach's phone. And then my guy Angel over at Burrito Express. Shout out to him. Really took care of some of the teams that won their 7-on-7 and big man event with burritos, with the burrito black card, as I call it. And I can't wait. And hopefully some more partners coming in the fold. You never know. I see all sorts of partnerships developing and coming back and fixing themselves. So you never know what's going to happen. I'll tell you one thing that's not going to happen. But your boy Chili, I'm going to make my way out of here. At Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, justchili.tv. Make sure that you guys stop by the YouTube page, subscribe, and make sure that you guys leave some comments, hit the like button, generate some traction online for whoever we're talking about, right? In this case, it's Poston Butte, Lacarea, Pleasant Johnson, some of these guys that we think will get drafted, also beating up the Suns a little bit. Also, I do want to show some love to the Bash Up Bears Network for bringing me on their Table Talk podcast. Those kids were absolutely amazing. I think I showed them love before, but I just wanted to do it again. You never know. These kids are all the future, like my guy Adam Beadle, one of the best in the biz, coming up. And yeah, other than that, I'm out of here. Forks up forever.